Hey everybody, back with a new episode of Downton Abbey. We are on to season 5. Season 4 ended on the London season. That was really fun. You know, Rose became a woman or whatever they call it. And they were able to stop Samson from, scandalizing the Prince of Wales. And the staff got to go to the beach. Ivy is going to America, so we're not going to be seeing her anymore, I imagine. And Daisy is staying. Edith moved her daughter next door, almost. I'll be curious to see what kind of relationship she tries to have with her. Mary is, down to clown now. She's ready to start dating, and she said Mr. Blake and Mr. Lord Gillingham can fight it out. So I'm sure that'll be a big part of the season. I'm curious to see if Tom is going to pursue anything with that teacher. I can't remember her. Is it Sarah? Is anything going on between Mrs. Hughes and Mr. Carson? I don't know. Also, Mrs. Baxter and Mr. Mosley, they seem to have a friendship at least. And I think Mr. Bates is in the clear in terms of consequences for definitely killing Mr. Green. I think that's going to be left alone, thankfully. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what season 5 has to offer. Season 4 was definitely not my favorite season, probably my least favorite, but it wasn't bad. They just really had to find their footing after losing major characters in season 3. So we'll see how season 5 goes. So here we go. You've made it really hard on yourself. This is tough.
What worries me is that our government is committed to the destruction of people like us and everything we stand for.
I think we should wait and see what happens before we panic.
Can I give you some more tea?
You're really giving yourself away.
How about you, Marigold? Are you quite finished?
Marigold.
I just love to see her gurgling away, so peaceful and happy.
It's just he wants something from me that I cannot give. He just wants what all men want. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I was referring to companionship. As I hope you were.
Well.
Shall I be more discreet with the other servants?
Hadn't you better go up to London and put her out of her misery?
Don't tempt me. Because I know this. If I weaken, I'll pay for it.
This sounds very like the kind of boys' talk I do not allow.
I wish you'd tell me what you know about those two. You can't keep your eyes off them when you think no
Don't
one's
say
looking.
anything, Miss Baxter.
Do you have to?
How was it in York? Did you find what you were looking for?
I did.
Is that why you're here, to ask for a piece of land as the site for this thing?
That's why we're here to see you, my lord. But we'd also like to offer the position of chairman of our committee to...
I'll take over now.
Oh?
You were saying?
We'd like Mr. Carson to be chairman of our committee.
Oh?
He felt very let down.
It's for the committee to make the
they
choice,
want
and
you.
they've chosen you.
And the country's chosen a Labour government, so people don't always get it right.
Come on.
What are you afraid of?
Pro-labor.
A shaking of the ground I stand on.
What is it?
A German primer, but the point is it's not ours. Mr. Gregson's written his name in the flyleaf.
I'm not sure Tom's visiting the school is such a good idea.
Why?
I made a friend there of one of the schoolmistresses when we were in London for
So?
Rose's season.
What's wrong with that?
I don't intend to explain, but I was rather disappointed in him. I would have hoped for better.
I'm afraid serving me is a bit beneath his dignity.
Really?
Even Sprat cannot always live for pleasure. Tell me, how well do you know Lord Merton?
I'm tired of waiting, Miss Baxter.
Leave her alone.
Tired of being bullied.
I don't believe your mother would enjoy the transformation of Isabel into Lady Merton.
Oh,
Complete
yeah.
with a living husband, a proper house, and a solid position in the county. That would not suit Mamma at all.
Don't be
She needs to
ridiculous.
get over
I'd be
it.
thrilled if that was what Isabel wanted.
Arithmetic Part 1, cost accounting. What is this?
I was rubbish at numbers at school.
Well, all the best people were rubbish at numbers at school.
I don't know anything.
You talk about my working at Mr. Mason's farm, but how?
You're not stupid, Daisy. Far from it.
Then why can't I understand what's written? Why can't I follow it?
Because
Because I'm a pig ignorant idiot.
No.
Like Mrs. Patwall.
Is she dyslexic? Why?
Why do you never ask that Miss Bunting up to the house?
Maybe I will, one day. I'd better get on.
So I have your
Rose is
permission
gonna
to
start
accept. You don't need my
getting her
permission.
hands
It
in
has
the
nothing
back.
to do with your work.
You think I'm taking too much of an interest in Marigold?
A little bit.
Margie,
She thinks I'm there too often.
because you've got a crush on me.
Oh, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
better than the real reason.
Mothers should love their children.
How long have you known?
Since you asked me to take her in,
Yeah.
be quite safe.
Pretty obvious.
It's not my place to judge you, and I wouldn't anyway.
But I should control my feelings.
I could say yes, but I don't believe it's realistic. We need a way for you to live the truth without telling the truth.
And how is that?
The die is cast. I've accepted. His lordship told me to take it.
There you are then.
But he was sad. Not with me, but maybe because things are changing.
Well, they
He's
are.
always sad about that.
Whether we're sad about it or not.
What would I have felt if I'd inherited a family with you?
You'd have loved them, I hope.
I would, but I can't deny I'd prefer one of my own. You'd feel the same?
Well, they do say a mother's love is the strongest love there is, but that's all in God's hands. There's nothing we can do.
I could think of one thing.
Mr. Bates,
Oh,
that sort of talk is beneath
Risky.
you.
I stand corrected. She hates getting older, and if you ask me, that's at the bottom of it. Still, it's pathetic for a lady to be pining over a footman. Excuse me. I think it shows very good taste.
yeah, because it's you.
Mr. Bates may have done something he wouldn't want known.
Something? What do you mean, a crime? Or...
I'm not sure. I know he took a journey, which I think he'd deny.
Look, I don't want to know anymore.
This better not still become a thing.
You're doing something funny with your head, sort of tilting it.
What am I?
You trying to show off your new hair?
Why? Have you got a rush?
I've not got a rash.
I'd like a young party for once, instead of all those old duffers.
Mary, I've got an idea.
I bet she does.
I think it's sharp of Daisy to want to learn to manage figures.
Rose wants to invite a friend of Tom's. He must feel so outnumbered. Not their brother, I hope. Someone local. Rose has met her.
I wonder what Lord Grantham's gonna think.
The older I get, the more I feel we do these things very oddly.
You do.
Even now, we must decide whether to share our lives with someone without ever spending any real time with them.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone, you know, what could be more important? To make sure that that side of things is right before we tie ourselves to someone forever.
It's true.
I'm afraid I'm too old-fashioned for you, my lady.
Mr. Molesley, have you...
Have I what, Mr. Carson?
Yes, he did.
Never mind.
Why won't you come?
Because I don't want to be part of some sort of a prank.
What prank?
Oh, it's not
It
a
may not have
prank.
been presented at court, Lady Rose, but I do know it's usual to be invited to dinner by the hostess.
And it seems a bit ironic for Mr. Bates to dress him.
Why is it ironic?
I don't know why I said that.
Don't
Did you say it?
anything.
It was rubbish nonsense now. If you'll excuse me, I'm late.
Oh my God, I do not need Thomas to know this.
Now you remember Lord Merton. Of course. How are you? And
You're
how's
trying to
that
set
lovely
them
garden
up?
of yours?
Oh, still lovely. Truth is, these days, I hold a book more often than a 12-ball. You must miss it.
Not particularly.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, he's more
You
interested in
little
medicine than
bit.
sport. I think Lord Clarkson would like some coffee.
Yes.
And don't be such a snob.
Yes.
Determined to get you over to Sheriff Hutton.
There's no point trying to find Mr. Molesley,
Ugh.
because he can't help you now.
I can't tell you what I don't know.
You know something.
Don't
And I think
threaten
it's
her.
Mr. Bates to the dead valet. We have to take a chance. Stable clock's fast.
She wants to bang first.
Molesley, you look very Latin all of a sudden. Do you
Latin.
have Italian blood?
No, my lord. Not that I'm aware.
Or Spanish? Or Irish?
please tell Mrs. Hughes that Lady Anne Struther will be staying. If she could prepare Princess Amelia.
Oh, she planned this.
Very good, your ladyship. Tell her everything.
You don't know what you're asking.
I may not know your story, but I do know it'll be worse if Mr. Barrow tells her
Yeah,
first.
truly.
Yes, you're right.
You what?
I took some jewellery belonging to the mistress. A necklace, a couple of bracelets, some rings.
You took them?
I went to prison for 3 years.
She was honest.
Thank you, Baxter. I ought to scold you.
Girl.
Why did you ignore my letters? You're a very naughty boy. That's the advantage of an older husband. One gets an early release.
Miss Sarah Bunting. What on earth is she doing here?
I asked her. Corey said
Be
I could.
nice.
Miss Bunting is the teacher I told you about. After her behaviour while we were in London, I would not have thought her a suitable guest.
But let me introduce you.
You don't know what you don't know.
Miss Bunting's a teacher. Oh, golly, how clever. What do you teach? The usual things. Writing, mathematics. Crikey, writing's always beyond me. I wouldn't know where to start with mathematics. Well, then you must marry someone rich enough to ensure you never need to.
What's happened to Mosley's hair?
Cousin, Lady Mary tells me that you're to lead the memorial committee.
That is so, madam, yes.
You'll drive it splendidly.
Lady, keep your hands to yourself.
But a stone edifice in the centre of the green to remind us forever of death and a pointless war. What's the good of that? To say nothing of the waste of money.
Ooh.
Forgive me, but you're talking nonsense.
Ooh.
Forgive me, but I suppose she's allowed an opinion.
She is not allowed that opinion, not in this house.
I think what she means is...
She is here as your friend, so of course you must defend her.
But was the war worth fighting? What did it achieve beyond the Russian Revolution, which you hate?
Millions of men dead and no more justice than there was before.
We must strive to keep things light.
It's a pity they didn't want you on their committee. You put up a stout defence of their intentions.
Oh, she is not afraid.
They do want his lordship on the committee. Forgive me, my lord. I'd have told you later, but they held a meeting this afternoon, and they would like you as their patron.
You set that in
It was
motion.
always their plan.
I dare say it was, your ladyship.
No.
I should be glad to accept.
Perhaps we can finish our dinner in a civilized manner.
But I admire it when young people stand up for their principles.
Principles are like prayers. Noble, of course, but awkward at a party.
I don't think you made enough of a statement for one evening.
What about you?
I know. I got a bit carried away.
I thought you were splendid. Cheer up.
I'd missed that about you, Tom.
Thank you again, and I'm glad to meet you. I felt I had to put faces to his stories. What stories are those?
Oh, that's a dangerous question. We may not like the answer.
Do you work at the school?
I teach mathematics, handwriting, and spelling mainly.
You must be so clever.
I wouldn't say that.
Come and meet the others.
Goodbye.
That's such a different path. It is, but it doesn't mean it's better than the one you've chosen.
But maybe she can help.
Might I have a word?
Would this have to do with Baxter? Because if it concerns her criminal record, then I know all about it.
Do you, lady?
What I don't understand is why you placed a convicted felon in my household, in my
Oh,
bedroom.
that backfired.
You knew every detail of her past. Why tell me now? Because if you've been using your knowledge against her, I'll have to consider your future here, or indeed whether you have one.
Yes.
You thought that we got up to something we never did.
As Sybil's father, this is not an easy conversation for me, but if I was wrong, then I am sorry. The truth is, I worry less about that than if Miss Bunting is taking you back into the role of rebel and hater.
Hater.
I'm not a
Get
hater.
used to it.
Am I to take it that I am dismissed?
But your work is excellent, and I have never sacked a servant that gave me no cause for complaint.
Oh, it's because you're decent.
Your word you will not commit this crime again?
I will never commit any crime again.
The effect on your appearance is not what you would have it. Take steps, Mr. Mosley. Take steps. You will remain below stairs until you do.
Oh, that's bullshit. Let it be. Oh. Whoa!
Maybe she just wants to talk. Maybe I'm the missing Zarovich.
You know.
I can't resist you. Not when it's offered on a plate. You're not alone now. There was a time when you were torn between me and Charles Blake, but I think you've decided and I'm the winner.
What happened with Mr. Blake?
That's settled.
The trouble is, you want to be sure. We'll spend the days talking.
And the nights?
And the nights?
We'll spend those together too.
I mean,
want us to
do
be
it.
Miss Mary.
Not your
I
first
want us
rodeo.
to know everything there is to know about each other.
It's probably good that you're trawling around. Oh.
There's a fire. Well, I'll see you both downstairs.
Terrible timing. Man.
Lord Grantham, I may sneak away before breakfast.
Yeah.
I have quite a way to go.
Perhaps that would be a good idea.
We have to thank you for raising the alarm and rescuing Lady Edith.
Yeah, that
so
saved us
bravely.
bacon.
What were you doing on the gallery?
Oh, just keeping an eye on things.
Well, thank goodness you were. I was angry with you before, and I was tempted to take it further, but
Ugh.
I accept that you have earned our goodwill by your actions
He
tonight.
falls into everything. The ISIS thing, no this.
I have a feeling James would be better employed elsewhere. Oh? Please don't ask me why I think so, but I suspect his ambitions rather outstrip what a career as a footman will yield.
You are going to take a great interest in little Marigold, milady.
Of course.
We just need to introduce the notion carefully, so everyone accepts and believes it.
What, is he gonna
Go to
adopt?
sleep in his lordship's
Is she gonna
dressing room
adopt?
tonight, milady, and we'll see what can be saved tomorrow.
Adopt her own daughter?
Mrs. Hughes.
Now Mrs. Hughes is gonna know, though. Okay, well, at least it was just Edith's room. It could have been worse, but Jimmy got found out. That lady was ridiculous, but Jimmy wanted to do it, so now Jimmy's got to find a new job. I don't see them fixing that. But for now, Miss Baxter still has hers. I don't see, I mean, if she's letting her stay now, I don't think Lady Cora's gonna have some epiphany to make her leave unless she finds something else out. But she said she likes her work, and there is more to that story, so maybe that'll be what it is. But she had to have done it for a reason, I assume, other than just, money. But we'll see. But now at least Thomas doesn't have that to hang over her head, so he's not going to find out about Mr. Bates, I think. But also, there at the end, they did make it seem like Mary might still have issue. Can we just leave that storyline in the trash? I can't get away from it. This episode had a lot to do with majority rule, and that is a change for England. They have their hierarchy, and I really liked Sarah. Good for her. She does have old Tom energy, and I hope that awakens something in him, although he does seem forever changed by being taken in by this family. He respects Lord Grantham and everyone too much to ruffle feathers like he used to, and I don't know if Sarah doing that is going to be too much for him. But at least Lord Grantham knows now that they didn't get up to anything. I like her, and I hope Tom gets with her. But I don't know. It seems very precarious, especially how that dinner went. The Dowager needs to quit. She needs to quit because Lady Isabel, not a lady, whatever, she didn't seem to be interested in becoming a lady, but maybe this might push her because the Dowager's trying to make something else happen. I've been bringing Dr. Clarkson into it. Just quit it. That is doing too much. You don't want her to be on your level? Aren't y'all friends now? Get over it. Mary, what happened to Mr. Blake? I liked him more, but Lord Gillingham is making his move, and She talked about it earlier in the episode about you kind of want to know if you're sexually compatible. And it looks like she's going to get the opportunity to find out because they're going to go away together. Good for them. See how it goes. Edith, what's she going to adopt her daughter? I mean, I guess. I guess. But also, Mrs. Hughes is going to know what's up because she saw them talking and they're conspiring to create this whole story. So we'll see how that goes. But, Mrs. Hughes got to know everything. This was a good little intro back into everything. They're not replacing Ivy. And, you hear about the times changing. The Labor Party is in power, and that doesn't bode well for this type of lifestyle. And that change has been continually happening throughout the show. And I wonder, I think because they've done like movies recently, I don't expect like Downton to be broken up, but things are changing. I just wonder how much they'll change and how much that affects what Downton's got going on. I don't know. They need to leave Mr. They need to leave Mr. Mosley alone. Let him experiment with his hair. It didn't look that bad. It didn't look blue. But even if it did, they should get to have some individuality. But, they can't. Appearances is everything. And, see, Mr. Carson, he was railing against the majority rule, too. Like, even though it served him, he could be on the board. He's like, no, let things be as they always were. Let me force them to choose Lord Grantham. So ridiculous. But he is very much in agreement with Lord Grantham about how things should go. So I'm not really surprised. But it was an honor for him. He should get to do it. But if he doesn't believe it, then whatever. So, yeah. It seems like things are like beginning to happen. So we'll, there's a lot of things we're going to follow this season. Like Daisy and possibly getting more prepared for when she has to take over the farm. She might have a learning disability, and maybe Sarah can help with that. But I'm happy to see that, and that would give her another storyline outside of Tom. And then, what is Mary going to do? Who's she going to pick? Although it definitely seems like Lord Grantham has the leg up there. Edith and her daughter. So there's things to look forward to this season about how it's going to go. But yeah, this was good. And I'm not really going to miss Jimmy if Jimmy got fired. It seems like he did, even though, they're going to keep it hush-hush, give him his referral. But, Thomas won't have his friend, and that's the one person that he had now, and now he doesn't have anybody, so is it going to be worse? He got so lucky. Because, you know what, that really backfired on him, as it should. But they're so grateful for him now. I mean, it is a good thing that he was where he was, because Edith would have died, and they might not have been able to salvage Downton. So he did, it worked out, but it didn't work out for Jimmy. So we'll see. But yeah, this was good. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back soon.